Dear students, today we will study class and constructor chapter. Now, let us discuss one simple program to understand the concept of classes and the contents of a classes. So, let us say this program: import java.util.star public class calculate. Right, class name is calculate. Flower bucket is opened. int m comma n comma s comma d. See, it is surprisingly we are declaring all the variable in the class, not inside some function. Right? So in the class program, as soon as you open the flower bucket of the class, we declared all the variables. Please make a note. Variables should be declared in the class, not inside a function. These variables are known as instance variables. They are known as instance variables. So that these variables can be accessed in any of the member methods or member functions. For example, here input data as a function, calculate as well as output data as a function. We can access in any of these three functions these variables. So this is known as instance variables. Hope you are understanding. Variables should be declared in the class. Then public void input data. The function name is input data. Return type is not there. It's a public function. Scanner object is created. Enter your first number. See, first number is accepted in M. Similarly, enter your second number in N. See, second number has been accepted. Means M and N values are accepted in the input data function. Right? This function just accept the value for M and N. See, that's what now onwards we do. We declare a variable in the beginning and each function is very specific now. So input data is just to accept it, finish, its job is done. Now void calculate. See, return type is not there for this, so void calculate. Then s is equal to m plus n, d is equal to m minus n. Right? So it is summing and difference of these two are stored in these variables. Then function is over. Output data. Sum of two number is s, difference of two number is d. Right? So we have third function to display the answer. Second function to do the calculation. First one to accept. And all the variables are declared in the class. This is the way we write the class program. Means first we write the class name. Then data members are declared in the class. Then member functions are declared. And these member function can access the data members. Hope the concept is so clear. Okay. How it works. Now let us see how it works. Here, once the program is typed, compile the program and close. Once you close, a small box will be there. Right click on it, you get a new calculate. Create an object name like calculate 1 and press OK button. A red box will come, means an object is created. Once an object is created, right click on it. Once you right click on it, you can see all the functions available in it. In that, you call the first function input data function. When you call it, you get a window, message is displayed, you can enter the first number. When you enter key, second message is displayed, you can enter the second number. And this function gets over. So, once again you have to come back to this window. Now, right click on the calculate function. Because we are accepted, we have to calculate the sum and difference. Right click on calculate function. When you click on calculate function works, but nothing happens to us as when you are looking at from here. So once again, right click on that box, red box, an object box, then call display function. When you call display function, you can see the output is given to you. Hope you are getting the concept. There we wrote the program. We compiled and closed. Now we have to see how it executes at least one object is required. In BlueJ method, we are creating an object. Object is created by right clicking. Then we right click on this object. We call input data function to accept the value. Then once again right click, call calculate function to calculate the sum and difference. Then once again right click, output data function to display the result. So in this way, the program can be executed. Now let us see how to write a hard coding program to create an object and call these functions. See, class sum, int a comma b comma c. Hope you are noting that variables are declared in the class, an instant variable. Void get data. Parameters are taken, formal parameters are here. Get data function now takes two integer arguments. Whatever you entered for x and y will be copied to a and b in turn, right? A and b are instant variable. They are only the formal parameter. From formal parameter, we are copying into a and b. Last program, we wrote a scanner line and we accepted a value by giving a message. Here, we are just assigning it. So this is the other way of accepting a value for data members. Simple program. Then calculate, like the same previous program. Here only sum he wants to calculate. So c is equal to a plus b. Then display function will display sum of them. Finished, right? Data members are declared. There are three functions and assigned, calculated and displayed. Now public static void main, the same class I am writing, so only I am cancelling these three brackets. String args, sum ob is equal to new sum. See, object is created, namely a ob. See, when the object namely ob is created, it will have its own a, b, c memory location for ob. Then sum ob1 is equal to new sum. One more object is created. See, new is a keyword to create an object. Create an object in the sense memory is allocated for each data members of the class a, b, c. So second object is created. Just blanks will be there in it. Now ob.getData. So getData function is called by ob object. So from here we go here, x gets 5, y gets 8. In turn a and b of ob will get 5 and 8. See how nice it is. GetData function is called by ob. So ob's a and b is assigned by going to this function. So this is the actual parameter transferred to formal parameter. From formal parameter, it has gone to instant variables. Then ob.calculate. Calculate function is called with respect to ob. So already a and b has value for ob. So c is equal to a plus b. These two are added and we got 13 to c of ob. Then ob.display. Display function, when we call it, displays the sum of these numbers. Sum of the number is equal to 13. See, we had done everything with first object now. See, functions are common for all the objects, but data members are separate for each object. So whoever calls the function, their data members are accept. ob1.getData. Once again, getData function with ob1. 4 goes to x, 7 goes to y. In turn, it goes to a and b of ob1. ob.calculate, we get c value. Then ob.display, we get the sum of this print line. The sum of the numbers is 11. So like this, we want to explain here, each object is different. Means memories, instant variables are separate for each object, but functions are common for all the object. Whichever the object calls the function, that object data members are accessed over here. Hope it is clear. Now let us see same program in different format. That is nested member method. Means member method is called from other member method. The class nested. Same int abc. Void get data. A is 5, B is 8. Same logic before, get data function. Calculate function. See, in the calculate function, we are calling get data function. Means when we call calculate, it in turn call get data function. right? That is a nested member method. Then C is equal to A plus B. Public void display. It displays the value of C like last time. Now, public static void means string or guess. Object is created. Nested OB is equal to new nested. Object is created. OB dot calculate. See, I am directly calling calculate, not get data. When I call calculate function, get data is called in turn, and OBs A and B will be assigned with 5 and 8 respectively. That is calculate function. Then OB dot display function. OB dot display will display the value of C. Here, he just wants us to explain how a function can be called from other function. Means, when I am calling from main function, object reference is required. But inside, object reference is not required. Whichever the object calls this calculate function, that object reference is taken to call get data function. In one way, it is safer that whenever you call calculate function, values for A and B will be assigned. Then we are calling it. So, please go through it once again. Now, let us see one more way of passing the values to a functions. int, here class xyz, int a comma b. Two data members are there in the class. Void get val int x comma int y. See, parameters are there. Formal parameters are x and y. From x and y, values are copied to a and b. Hope you remember one program we did like this. Then, now the difference. Void sum obj bracket xyzp comma xyzq. See here, p and q are xyz type. XYZ type means P and Q are object, means you take two objects as a parameters, and those two objects parameters values are used. P dot A means first object A value plus second object A value is added and stored in the A value of the object which is calling this function. Similarly, B is equal to P dot B plus Q dot B. So, whoever the function calls this which is the object calls this function, that object B is equal to first object's B value plus second object B value is taken. We will come back to it once again. Display function will display the value of A and B, whoever is calling it. Right? Class is XYZ, two instant variables. For them you want to assign a value through a formal parameter. We took the value and copied it to data members. Then we want to add the content of two objects and stored in the third object. This is the way we took two objects as an argument and added and stored in the respective variables. Then displaying the value of A and B. Now, see, public static void main xyz ob1 means first object is created. ob1 A and ob1 B memory is allocated. Nothing will be there here. Then xyz ob2 is equal to new xyz ob2a ob2b, nothing will be here. xyz ob3, there A and B will have nothing. So just three objects are created. Then ob1 dot get val. Who is calling get val function? Yes, ob1, 2 goes to x, 3 goes to y. In turn they go to A and B respectively. Right? Similarly, ob2 dot get val. Once again, get val function is called 4 and 6. In turn, they go to A and B of ob2. Right? Then sum obj. See, who is calling sum obj function? ob3 is calling. So when you want to call sum obj function, you need to send two object as an argument. Yes, ob1 is referred by P, ob2 is referred by Q. Right? Who is calling? ob3 is calling. So when I say A here, it refers to ob3's A. P dot A. P means now it is actually ob1's A. ob1's A is 2. Plus Q's A means it is ob2's A. 2 plus 4 is 6. That comes to OB3 say. Similarly, B means OB3's B is equal to P dot B means OB1's B plus OB2's B. These two are added and stored over here. See, this is a way we had to call this function. Two objects are passed. Now I think it is clear who is A here, B here, who is PA and PB, who is QA and QB. Once you calculate the sum, it has come to OB3. Now you can call it OB1 dot display, OB2 dot display, or OB3 dot display. He is just calling it OB3 dot display function to get the value of A and B. Means only OB3's A and B value will be displayed to us because OB3 is calling this function. Please understand here how to send to object as an argument and how to make use of it in the function body. Okay, go through it. Now, let us see one simple program or a board question to understand this concept. See, class salary, define a class salary. See, class name is given. You must use the same class name in your program which will fetch you 1 mark. Described as below. Data members name, address, phone, subject specialization, monthly salary, income tax. So, in the exam, they will only give all the data members. Only thing is that you must make sure that is it possible to give the name as such. Can we use the same variable name? Here monthly salary space is there, we can't use. You have to meaningful name, you have to change. Income tax gap is there, we can't. So data member should be declared in the class. See, as for the class salary is written, string name is for address, taken ADD. Subject specialization, he has taken it as sub. Phone number is a very big number, so he has taken long, or you can take it as string even. Because we will not do any mathematical operations on numbers in this case. Then double salary and tax. These are the decimal values. So that you have to decide what type of variable they are. And it must be declared inside the class, which will fetch us 1 or 2 mark here. Right? So this is, you have to write salary, class name, whatever they have given. Data members, carefully you must declare data type with a variable name. Before that import line is required, it is your choice to write. Now, data members are over. Member methods to access the details of the teacher including the monthly salary. Access the details. So details has to be accepted means scanner object need to be created. Then system print line, enter a name. Name is accepted. Enter an address. Address is accepted. Enter the phone number and enter the subject specialization. Enter the monthly salary. Whatever has to be accepted, that we should understand, and you must accept it with a proper message which ends our accept function. Here he has not exactly mentioned the function name. It is your choice. By chance, if they give their own function name, you must use the same function name. Right? Then display the details of the teacher. See, function name is display. Display details of the teacher. Display all his details, name, address, phone number, subject specification, monthly salary, income tax. See, income tax also you must display. Let us see how it works. So display function has to display everything. Calculation is done later, fine, but still we have to display everything. Third part, to compute the annual income tax as 5% of the annual salary above 1,75,000 rupees. If his annual salary is more than 1,75,000 rupees, then you are supposed to pay 5% tax on it. So calculate function. Annual salary is the word, but we have to the monthly salary. So 12 into salary means monthly salary into 12 times. If it is greater than 1,75,000 rupees, then tax is equal to salary into 12. Total salary into 5 by 100, better 5.0 by 100 you can make. So that much tax he has to pay for the entire amount. Otherwise, no tax for them. Right? Income tax to compute the annual income tax of the annual salary above 1,75,000 rupees. Otherwise, no tax. It is a one way. Otherwise, what you must do, 12 into salary minus 1,75,000 rupees. If that is greater than 1,75,000 rupees, then we can calculate this. It is 12 into salary minus 1,75,000 rupees. If it is greater than 0, then for that only we can charge the tax. Now here it is simple calculation here is done, fine. If it is greater than 1,75,000 rupees, then 5% tax. Otherwise, no tax. Then they said, write a main method to create an object of a class. If this mention this, you must write public static void main. How to create an object? Class name is salary. Salary OB is equal to new salary. Object is created. Then OB dot accept. Accept function is there here, so that we accepted. See, though we write display function first, but call calculate function first, because we should be able to get the tax amount. So call calculate function. Then display function will display the everything including a tax. So this order is not important for us. In which order we are calling the functions are important. Is it okay? So this will fetch us some marks. So first declare the class, 1 mark, declare the variables in the class, then each function, whatever they specify, accordingly you write. Then the main method, they ask us to create an object. Yes, create an object and calling these functions are very, very important. Means everything is given the question in English sentence format. We are converting to a Java coding here. So very simple calculation, simple part is there. You need to be perfect with this. So it's easy to get 15 marks in this chapter. Now we will see one more program which has appeared in 2012. Write a class called library. The class is library with the following description. Instant variables. He has only declared data type int acc number, int is then string title, string author. They have only given the variable name with the data type. It becomes so simple for you to declare them as such here. What for it is used? Accession number of the book. Then store the title of the book, name of the book. So that has to be stored. Then even scanner object also created here itself, so that it can be used in any of the functions. Then see, he has only given the function name void input. Function name is given. Use the same function name. Input and store accession number, title and author. Accept accession number, title and author. Right? In the input function, we have to accept all of them. Very simple, right? Very simple. They give in English format where everything is given. Just write them in Java statement. Then compute. To access number of days late, calculate and display the charges at the rate of ₹2 per day. Compute n and find and the number of days late. See, n is a local variable now. Till now, we declare variable here only. But some variable, they ask us to calculate number of days late, calculate and print the fine here itself. Now it is left to your choice. If you want to declare a variable inside this function, you can write, or in the beginning also you write. Since he knows that he is using only in this function, he declared a variable inside this function. These variables are known as local variables. These variables are known as local variables. So after the number of days late, then fine is equal to n into 2. Fine amount is calculated. Then fine to be paid. How much he has to pay the fine, that you display over here. Then flower bracket is closed. Then last function, display function. To display the details of following format, accession number should come, title and author should be displayed. So display function, see the first line, only the heading, accession number /t plus title /t plus author in double quotes. Actually speaking, open the double quote in the beginning, write accession number plus /t. Now you close the double quote and writing plus and opening. This is not necessary. Anyway, it is opened here now. Just continue till the end, then only at the end you close the double quote. Means everything should come in one double quote, this slash t in between to give a gap between them, because everything is a constant. Whereas next line, because we are to display the value of them, accession number is a variable name, so it should not be in double quote. Plus is a concatenation operator. Only tab space we want, so slash t should come in double quote or single quote. So the gap is left. Plus t title. See here that is required. Plus t plus author. Here it is required, not before, not in the first line. But the output should come in two different lines as we have shown. Then only will get full marks. So display it in that format. Previous program we displayed in our own format because they have not mentioned it. Here you have to use the method they have mentioned or the format they have given. Then ask us to write a main method to create an object and call these functions. Main function, object is created. First input function is called ob.compute, ob.display. So in the same order we have called. It's very simple compared to what we discussed before, because everything is given the question itself. As I said, you just have to convert into Java statement. Now let us learn one more new concept, that is constructors in Java. Let us see what is a constructor, how it works, what are the features of it. See, class dconst, name of the class is dconst, int a comma b, instant variables are a and b. Dconst, same name as the class name, if you notice it, right? So if a function has the same name as the class name, that is known as a constructor. What it does, it is assigning value to a and b. Means constructors are used to initialize the data members. It is assigned a as 5 and b as 8. Then display function will display the value of a and b. Display function is the value of a and b. If you notice here, we have one class with two data members, one constructor, and nothing is there inside the bracket here, no parameters, means the default constructor which assigns some default values to data members. Then function to display the value of a and b. Type this program, compile, close. Right click on it, box will come, give a name for the object, click OK button, a box will come and object is created. In this case, not only the object is created, as soon as the object is created, automatically the constructor will be called and its a and b will be assigned with whatever the values we have given over here. So it gets some value over here like 5 and 8. Now, how to know that it is assigned? Now you can call display function by right clicking in it once again, and you can see that value of a will be 5 and the value of b will be 8 because it has been initialized by a constructor. Previously we used to have one function to initialize the data members, but now if you use a constructor concept, you don't have to call it explicitly. It will be called automatically when the object is created. So that is the speciality of the constructor. I will summarize the concept of constructor. First point is constructor will have the same name as the class name. First point. Second point, constructors are used to initialize the data members. Constructors used to initialize the data member. Constructor will be called automatically when the object is created. Right? Then last point, constructor will not have return type, not even void. Please observe here. Will not have return type. Otherwise function means if nothing is it is returning, we write void over there. Here we should not write void even. These are the 4 features of constructor. Now let us see the other way of writing the same program through hard coding. Class dconst, same thing, int a comma b. D const. A is 0, B is 0. Has assigned them in a constructor or a default constructor. Same display function will display value of A and B. Values of A and B is displayed. Then public static void main string args. D const OB is equal to new D const. Means object namely OB is created. Not only the object is created, automatically constructor is called. A and B of object OB will be assigned to 0 because constructor is called. Then when you call display function, it just displays value of A and B are 0 space 0 because it is just initializing them with 0. But what we are learning in this process, how to create an object and how to call the function through hard coding. Previous method, we use a BlueJ method to create an object. Here through hard coding, we are creating an object. But the answer, result, everything is same. Now, let us see the other type of constructor, that is a parameterized constructor. Class pconst, class name. Same int a comma b. Pconst c, int x comma int y means parameters are here. We have a parameter, so it is a parameterized constructor. No return type, but parameters are there. A is equal to x, b is equal to y. For parameter values are copied to instant variables. Display function will display the value of a and b like class program. Simple, right? Only thing is it is a parameterized constructor. Let us see how it works. Public static void main string args. Pconst OB is equal to new pconst. When you are creating an object, since you have parameterized constructor, you must send two integer values 5, 8. They goes to x and y. In turn, this is copied to a and b. A and b gets this 5 and 8. Then OB dot display. OB dot display will display the value of a and b. But are you getting it? So like this, we can pass value to a constructor that is known as a parameterized constructor. Now once again, we will write the same program. See, class pconst int a comma b. Pconst int x comma int y. Same thing. Display everything is same. But we didn't write main method here. Means program is typed, compiled, and no syntax error. Close it. Once you close it, you must create an object through BlueJ method. So right click on it and you can click on new pconst, but this time two arguments are there over here. Once you click on it, you get box to enter not only the name of the object, two more box to get the value for x and y. Hope you are getting it. You need to pass two integer value, it mentions over here. So you can pass two values. Then you press OK button. Then these values will be copied to A and B. That is copied to A and B. Then once again right click on it and click on display function. When you click on display function, you can see what are the values you have passed to x and y that are assigned to A and B. Right? So like this, you can use the BlueJ method to create an object. And when you create an object using a BlueJ method, since parameters constructor is there, you have to give not only the object name, you need to give even data members. Then they are taken and values will be assigned to data members. Now, one more type of constructor is copy constructor. Means copying from one object to another object. Creating an object from one object to other object. See, class copycon int a comma b. Data members are a and b. Copycon int x comma int y. Right? Int x comma int y. Because it is a constructor, it is a parameterized constructor because two parameters are passed. From this x and y, values should be copied to a and b. From x and y, values will be taken to a and b. It is a parameterized constructor we are using. One more time, copy con p. See here, is a class name, means a constructor. But what this constructor is taking? It is taking one object as an argument. So it is a copy constructor we call. From one object the data is passed to other object. Copy con p. A is equal to p dot a, b is equal to p dot p. Is it okay? So let us see how it works. Then public static void main. Copy con ob is equal to new copy con 5 comma 8. Parameterized constructor is called. X gets 5, y gets 8. In turn it goes to a and b. Right? This is parameterized constructor is called. Whereas here copy con ob1, new object we are creating. New copy con, we are sending one object as an argument. See, ob is passed. The first object is passed, means p will refer this ob. When I say this p dot a, which indirectly says it is ob's a value, will be copied to a, means ob once a will get ob's a. ob once b will get ob's b. And if you had the display function, we would have displayed the values of a and b variables. But here, make a note, here an object is being passed. That's what we can make out here. Right? So, this is the concept of copy constructor. One is this. One more concept we are learning here. In the same class, see we have two constructors. Right? We have more than one constructor. One is parameterized constructor, other one is copy constructor. So if you have more than one constructor in a program, that is known as constructor overloading. Hope it is clear. Constructor overloading is a concept where we have more than one constructor in our program. Now, let us see one more concept of declaring a variable as static. Class example, int a, means a is an instant variable, means it is separate for each object of the class. But you see, static int count, means count is a static variable which is common for all the objects. That is a static variable. They are also known as class variables. Let us see what is the use of it. Example, is the constructor, is a default constructor. A is equal to 0. So it is initializing as 0. Then void get count. Get count is a function. So return type is there as void. Whereas it is a constructor, no return type, it is a default constructor. Assign a to 0. Then a is equal to plus count. Means whatever the value is there in count, add one more to it, that is assigned to a. Same way, void give count. This will display the value of a as well as count. Right? So we have constructor to initialize a, get count to increase the count by 1 and store it into a, give count to display the value of a as well as count. Now let us see the main function. Example ob1 is equal to new example, means object namely a ob1 is created. When I create an object namely a ob1, it will have its own a memory location, and actually here 0 will be there because constructor is called a gets 0. But as soon as the first object is created, the static variable is memory is allocated to the static variable count, and that also becomes 0. See, that's the speciality of the static variable. As soon as the first object is created, memory is allocated only once, and that becomes 0. Then example ob2 is equal to new example. Second object is created. When the second object is created, it will have its own a memory location, that also is 0, but new count will not be created. Example ob3 is equal to new example. One more a is created for ob3, it will be 0 because constructor is called. but count is not created one more time. So count is common for all of them, whereas all A's will be 0 at this point. When I say ob1 dot get count, and I call get count function, A is equal to plus plus count. As you know, count is 0 by now. Count plus plus count, increment count by 1, and that 1 is given to A, means ob1's A gets 1. Are you getting it? Count has become 1, that is given to ob1's A, because ob1 has called get count function. Then ob2 dot get count function. Once again get count function is called. A is equal to plus plus count. Count is incremented by 1. Count becomes 2. That 2 is given to A, but this time it is ob2's A, because ob2 is calling this function. Then ob3 get count. Once again count function. Count is incremented by 1. Count becomes 3. That 3 is given to A, so A becomes 3 for ob3. But count has become 3 by now. Hope you are getting how count increases each time by 1, and each A, though it is the same A, it is A of different objects depending on who is calling it. Then ob1 dot give count. When I call give count function, value of A as well as value of count is displayed. Since all these three are called ones, when I call give count function, A will be 1 and count is 3. Next time when I call ob2 dot give count, ob2's A will be 2, but count will be 3 only. Count is common for them. When I call it ob3, yes, value of A is 3, count value is also 3. So like this, we can see that static variable is common for all the objects. Instant variables are different for each object. Whoever changes the value of the static variable, it affects others even. This is a concept of a static keyword for a variable. Now, let us see one more concept, that is static functions. See, class example, same thing, int A, static int count, example, A is equal to 0, give get count, A is equal to plus plus count, same as the last program. But static void give count. See, the give count function is a static function now. Means this function can accept only the static variables. See, previously we were printing A value in this function. Now you cannot print A value because it is a static function. Static function can access static variable or the local variables only. In our case, we don't have any local variables. Static variable is there, that is accessed, not the instant variables. Let us see how it works. See, public static void main, first object ob1, second object, third object, same previous main program. ob1 dot get count, like last time, as soon as the objects are created, their A's become 0, and count is only one memory location like last program, and that will be 0. When I call ob dot get count, count becomes 1, that is given to A, means ob1 A gets it. Similarly, ob2 A gets 2, ob3 A gets 3, and count will be 3 at the end. And if we call give count function at this moment, see, while calling give count function, we are not writing any object name over here. Means already we discussed the function chapter. If a function is static function, it can be accessed without an object reference. So object name is not here, right? So it can display only a count value because it is nothing to do with any particular object. As a result, you cannot access the value of A of any of the object. It can access only the static variable. So static function can access only the static variable or the local variable, but not the instant variable. Now let us see one more important keyword in Java programming, that is this keyword. Class XYZ int A comma B. Then instant variables, right? A and B are instant variables. Get val is a function, returns nothing, takes two arguments of integer type, and their values are copied to A and B. Right? Then void sum obj, it takes two objects of XYZ type. This dot A is equal to P dot A plus Q dot A. This dot B is equal to P dot B plus Q dot B. We have seen similar type of program before, where we just wrote A is equal to P dot A plus Q dot A. Means here this keyword is not necessary. But let us see what is the use of this keyword. Display function, display the value of A and B. Same program we have discussed before even. Public static void main, XYZ object OB1, OB2, OB3. Three objects are created. Means each will have its own A and B memory locations. Then OB1 dot get val 2 comma 3. Means get val, who is calling get val function? OB1. OB1's A gets 2, B gets 3 because it goes to X and Y first. From X and Y it goes to A and B. Similarly OB2 dot get val 4 comma 6. X and Y gets 4 and 6. In turn it goes to A and B. This much is known to us. And even this also is known to us. OB3 sum OBJ OB1 comma OB2. See, OB1 is referred by P, OB2 is referred by Q. So if I write P dot A means it's actually OB's 1A. Q dot A means it's OB2's A. So instead of just writing A over here, whose A is that? That can be represented by this dot A, means whichever the object calling this function, that object A is this. Are you getting it? So it is optional here. Whichever the object is calling this function, that object A or B are this. That way we say this dot A or this dot B. It is P dot A plus Q dot A. Here P dot B plus Q dot B. Here we have to prefix. But here this is an optional keyword which represent object which is calling this function. As I said, here it is optional. But when actually it is required, for example, the get value function is there with us. Here he has taken int x comma int y. Instead of taking int x comma int y, if he has taken int a comma int b, means instant variables and these formal parameters are same. Then if I just write a is equal to a, assuming that the right side is a formal parameter and this is instant variables, no. Formal parameter will have a higher precedence. Both a are treated as a formal parameter or both b are treated as a formal parameter. So when I say this dot a, it represents the instant variable of the object which is calling this function. So here this is required or it is compulsory to specify the a and b are belongs to object of the function object which calls this function. So there's a better example is this function to explain how this key works. Right? Here it is an optional, whereas if you declare the same formal parameter as the instant variable, then left side we ought to take it as a instant variables. So this dot here. This is a formal parameters. So like this it works out. Then when I call display function, OB3 is calling, it displays the value of A and B. If you want, even here you can write this dot A, this dot B, but not necessary, because whichever the object is calling, that object reference is taken and there is no formal parameter with the same A and B, so we don't have any ambiguity over here. So that way you can write the program with this keyword. Let us see one more program, a simple program where constructor is required. Class with the profit and loss name. Name of the class is profit and loss. Data members is int cp sp. Only cp sp they has mentioned. See, they are declared only cp and sp. He has declared extra variable. It is left to you. If you require more variables, you declare them in the beginning. Okay, so you can declare them whenever you want. So don't put a semicolon in the beginning. Go to the entire program, answer the question, then you can think of where to declare a variable. Here member methods are profit loss. Default constructor to initialize CP and SP. Default constructor to initialize CP and SP. Then void input function to assign a value for CP and SP. A and B value is taken. A should go to CP and N should go to SP. So M and N is taken. Values are go to CP and SP. Then display function will display, calculate and display either profit percent or a loss percent. If it is profit, calculate profit percent. Loss, calculate loss percent. So class name is profit and loss. Finished. Then we have to calculate the profit, loss, have to calculate, then profit percent have to calculate. So we have declared all the variables in the beginning, right? Profit and loss the constructor, default constructor. So CP and SP is initialized to 0. Then void input function, he has taken M and N. He would have taken E and B, but he has taken M and N. Better take E and B because they have given E and B. Then CP is equal to M, SP is equal to N. You can say CP is equal to A and SP is equal to B, but here we have taken M and N, copy those values. Then display function should check whether SP is greater than CP, means we are in profit. How much profit? PR is equal to SP minus CP, profit. How to get a profit percentage? Double of expected conversion, double of profit by cost price into 100. No? Profit by cost price into 100 is the profit percentage. Print it. If CP is greater than SP, then you are in loss. How much loss? Loss is equal to CP minus SP. Loss percentage is equal to calculate and display. So you would have declared all these four variables in the display function itself as a local variable because we are checking, calculating and displaying here itself. Or if you want, you can declare it over here even. Right? Here main method is not written. We assume we are executing this program in BlueJ method. If they mention to write a main, you write. Otherwise, it is not necessary to write main method. Now, let us write one more simple class program on strings. See, class name is Pig Latin. You know Pig Latin program. So, write a class name as Pig Latin. Data member is only string WD. One word is required. But you know in string program we have integers, characters. So he has declared so many variables that we can decide later. Then Pig Latin means it is a constructor, a default constructor to initialize string WD. What can initialize the string WD? Because a default constructor, so blank is initialized to WD. Right? Because his main variable is WD, initializes blank. Then input function, string WD, here a default constructor, it is an input function. So we take word as an argument, string type of argument that is copied to WD. Right? From formal parameter has gone to instant variables. Then after taking it, he is converting that into lower case. Maybe for further checking is be easy. So WD is equal to WD dot to lower case. So he has taken and stored into WD once again from formal parameter, the input function. But accepted it, but here parameters are given, same format we have followed. Then display function, convert the word in Pig Latin form and display it. And convert it Pig Latin format, display function, get the length, same program, loop start from beginning till the end or till where we get the first vowel, right? Get the character from the beginning. If anywhere it is A, E, I, O, U, immediately we break. Means the loop may not complete. Whenever you get a first vowel, from there only we break. When I break there, so for example, Pig Latin is my word. P is not a vowel, but I is a vowel. There we break. Once we break, st1 is equal to wd dot substring I comma p. From that position till the end of the string, IGLATAN will come to st1. Then WD substring 0 comma I, from 0 position to first position means only P is taken to st2. Then Pig Latin form of the word, system print line st1 plus st2, that is IGLATAN is already there, P has come and ends with AY. Now let us see one board question. I says 2010. Define a class student. Right? Described as below. Actually, it should not be a public class mark. It should be a public class student. Then define a member methods or variables are name, age, M1, M2, M3, that is marks in 3 subjects, maximum, average. So you have to declare them. So better you, what are the variable name they have given, use the same variable name with appropriate data type, string, int, double, whatever is required. So declare them there. No need to initialize, just declare them with the proper data type. Then see 1 mark here, 1 or 2 mark for declaring a variable. Then parameterize constructor to initialize data members by accepting a details of a student. Parameterize constructor. So see, maximum you have to calculate, average you have to calculate. So don't take those 2 parameters, others. String n, intd, d maybe for age, a, b, c for 3 subject marks. Then those values you assign to M1, M2, M3. Values can be assigned like that. So it's a parameterized constructor, right? Now void compute. Void compute, they want us to calculate the average and maximum marks. Average is equal to M1 plus M2 plus M3 by 3. Get the average marks. Similarly, get the maximum if M1 is greater than M2 and if M1 is greater than M3. Means M is the bigger. Otherwise, M2 is greater than M1 and M2 is greater than M3, M2 is bigger. Otherwise, M3 is bigger. He is getting the biggest of 3 numbers and average of these 3 marks. See, this has been done in the compute function. They have not given their own function name. It is left to you to choose. But constructor, you know, it should be the same name as a class name. And parameter should be there with the proper data type. Display the name, age and marks of 3 subject, maximum and average. So display function, display name, average marks, age and all 3 subject marks, highest marks, average marks. Display all of them in a display function. Right? Displaying all of them. Then write the main method to create an object of a class and call the above methods. So here you have to write a main method to create an object. Main method is there. Scanner is written here itself. Variables are declared. See, variables are declared in extra. We never did before because we have a parameterized constructor. So before creating an object, we should be able to accept all these values and we should be able to pass them. So this main method is accepting name, age and 3 subject marks. It is important now because when I am creating an object, I should pass them as an argument. Right? See, either by accepting it like that you do, otherwise some dummy values you can send, but you can't leave them blank, or you can't create an object before all these things. Name is taken, age is taken, PQ or 3 subject marks is taken. So that parameters constructor is called and data members are initialized. When you call compute function, average marks as well as biggest of the 3 subjects is taken. Then display function will display the answer. It's a 15 marker, but only you must analyze here. Main has lot of things to do over here because we have a parameterized constructor. Before creating an object, we need to have all these values. Now, let us see one more simple program which appeared in board. 2014 question. Class movie magic with the following description. That is, variables are given. First class name is movie magic, right? int here, string title, float rating. So declared all those variables the proper data type. Year of release and what is the title of the film and what is its rating. Rating can be from 0 to 5. Okay, so variables are declared. Scanner object is created. So this part is a declaration of variables. Then method movie magic default constructor. No need to mention in movie magic. You can just say default constructor to initialize data members to 0 and string data members to blank. So here movie year is 0, rating is 0 and string actually you are supposed to write title is equal to blank actually. So there is a constructor, a default constructor. Then accept to input and store year, title and rating. So accepting. Message is given. Since already scanner object is here, you can use that object to assign a year of release, date of the film and what is its rating. That is accepting function. See, constructor, default constructor, accept function, very simple program. Then display function, rating, it is 0 to 2 is there, it is flop. 2.1 to 3.4 semi hit, 3.5 to 4.5 hit, 4.5 this 6 to 5 is super hit. So display, already rating is there with us. If rating is less than or equal to, say title of the movie and say it is flop. Right? You know it to put actually flops in slashes separately, in slash t inside only he can put flop. Same way, if it is greater than 2.1 and less than or equal to 3.4, say it is semi hit, that film name. Then it is 3.5 to 4.5, say it is hit. It is 4.6 to 5, okay, it is a super hit. Very simple if comments are here. Right? Very simple program for 15 marks. Like this simple programs will come on class and constructor programs. Usually is the first program in section B, which easily you can get marks because you are written a class name, you get 1 mark, declaring a variable you will get 1 or 2 marks, then constructor you get 1 or 2 marks, each header of the function gets 1 mark, then simple calculation and accepting gets 1 mark. Easily you can get full marks in this. Then write a main method to create an object. Main method, movie magic is a class name, create an object, accept function and display function. So this ends the program. All the best.